Alrighty. I had to pour it in here and put it back in that because I really didn't have room to stir it. But now this was that old thick stuff that is now smooth, very few bubbles. Let's see. Those cups plumb full holds just a tad over 125 mils. So, I don't know. Might have to. I didn't mix this much before together. My word. Let's see, where's one of my cups? No, that won't work. We'll get another cup. All right. These is just a little off-brand, like from Walmart cups. Like the first try, time you use them, it's kind of like, loose, but it's not flimsy. But once you mix your resin in here, it'll dry and you can use it again. And every time you do that, don't mix your colors in it, just your resin. These cups will get pretty thick and easy to hold to. And yeah, I know, I gotta put my gloves back on. I just noticed some naked hands here. Finish getting that out. All right, there that is. Put on my gloves before I get myself in troubles. I hope I don't anyway. Now, can you see these any better at all? I mean, I'm right in front of a window, and that puts a lot of glare in here in the daytime. But, all right, I ain't finished the rest of this in. I didn't get it all in there. Parts A and Part B, they're equal 1 to 1. Measure them. Don't just weigh them. Measure them. Do not weigh these things. Measure them. A lot of times, when I first started doing this back in September of 21, which ain't been that long ago, I was taking its temperature, watching these other videos, and I was taking temperatures and everything, and about half of everything this one person didn't turn out. One day I was trying to do some things like she does, and I still like watching her, but I will not call her name. She may not want me to, but I watched her a lot at that time. So now, I'm going to mix. And I think I told you wrong on the 125. That already had the other mix, some of it mixed in it too, so I'm sorry. That was almost what it had fully, so ignore that 125 mil, please. Now then, I can stir. I know some of these things say stir for 3 minutes. I add another 2 because I kind of want to make sure it's mixed good, and I'm always scraping my sides, running my paddle around on the bottom really good. And then I go back around and I'll stir in the center a little. And I go back around. I'm wiping anything off those walls that might not be getting mixed in and incorporating it over with the rest of it. And I'll stir in the middle for a few laps and loops and things and across the bottom good. And here I go around my corner again. I do that quite a lot. And so, it don't matter if you want to go this way or if you want to go this way. But try not to flop them over together too much, because flick them over, because that's what causes a lot of the micro bubbles. So I try to go pretty much in the same direction every time, and I still get bubbles, but guess what? Heat gun will normally always take those out of it for you. And this is looking pretty clear, but it's still not been 5 minutes. So I want to continue doing this. As you can see, it's just my part 1 and 2 equal parts. And I'm finishing stirring it up after I heated up my thicker stuff. So see you in a few minutes. Well, okay, it's stirred up. Looks really good. No striations of the other kinds, not mixed. I'm going to put some in here to reserve for our bloom. For our blooming stuff. Probably won't take that much, but I'm making that much anyway. All right, I'm gonna set that out of the way. Maybe I won't be spilling it. Flip. Gotta get my other glove on. Don't get in trouble. I'll be glad when my nitrates that I have ordered comes in, because these, I've got small hands and it's not the best thing in the world. Now you want to fill these on up pretty good, because it's not going to take a whole lot of anything, the room for your alcohols and stuff. Besides that, you know, you won't have to worry about, I can't do that much because I'm not going to have enough if I do. So I'm just going to coat them good here where I can do more, all 4 of them. I've done it 2 and 3 and I always hated to have to go back and do just one. I'd rather do all 4 at the same time. That way they do look better. Now, once this is in here and everything, don't need any more except for what I saved back. I did build this one up more. Too much, maybe. Yeah. Anybody else needs some right here could use a little more. There we go. Should have all this stuff. Now, I don't have as many bubbles as I did if I just mixed it and without trying to do something with the other side. But since I have now, before I do anything else, I'm so freaking clumsy of a morning. Ain't making my coffee. All right, my hot gun was stuck. I'm turning it on, and I'll do this right here a few times. And don't go right around your edges and really slow or anything, because that will heat up your resin on that edge, and it'll end up melting your, what it'll do, it's going to melt your molds just enough that it makes them embed in, and they're hard to get out without turning your molds up. I've done it, so I'm not just making you do it. Okay, there that is. Now, what colors today? I don't want another green and all that set. But first, here's 2 of the ones that I did and posted pictures of when my phone wasn't working. There's one of them. And here's another one. That's just 2 of the 4 that I did when my phone wouldn't let me do anything. Thank God it is now. And so here is, I'm out of my piping bags. I just noticed that when I went to get one. But I have these little half sandwich bags. They're just little snack packs. I will use that. I'm not mixing it up yet because I want it to be freshly made just right then. Okay. This time, I think I'm going to do some red on the outside instead of the green. I'm going to do these the opposite. Yeah. So, I'll put in a few drops around my edge. It don't have to be right up against it because this alcohol in it will mess with your mold. If you use it a lot, I have to keep these ordered because alcohol in it will wear them down faster. I drop one in the middle. It ain't gonna hurt so bad. So I didn't get them too close together. My spots, because they do spread out good. You just make sure you shake that alcohol ink up, or even the regular inks, really well, because they do have a tendency to separate in the bottles. Ooh, that got a big blast. Okay, one more. Hold it up over it about an inch or 2, or about an inch, and I guess the blast from a little bit of dropping on that little bitty dot kind of knocks it unconscious and it starts going and making a fool of itself. Whoa. All right. I may need a few more spots to make it wheel out good. Let's see. Okay. And these inks here, let me put my glasses on so I can see something. This is just epoxy red alcohol ink. I don't see the name on it. It don't work the same as Let's Resin. This in here will give you holes, which will give you more texture. Use some of the others that are higher concentrate. They won't hardly do that in resin. I'm sure I can mix the oils and all that, but that's what they use in acrylic, and I'm kind of afraid I'll mess everything up. Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to do some yellow orange. I think we'll use. We're going to come around and put these in here. I want it to go up. I want it to spread around over to the red a bit. And before that has time to do anything, completely close up here, I'm going to go make a tiny little circle here, not a whole lot, maybe 3 dots in the center of that orange. I didn't do that. No, there we go. Because I don't want to not have room. You know what I'm saying? So let's do this with this orange dots around, spots or whatever. Hopefully they're going to start moving around here. No more heat gun yet. Not ready for that. No. These things, it makes my fingers want to fall over and take one out. Just my fingers. I've had the carpal tunnel surgery on both of them and all that junk, but and I ain't got nothing to do with it. It's just, I guess it has more to do with my old age than anything. All right, my green, you're going to be in the middle here. Put a dot right there. I like to put a couple of dots in here. I put more in that one by accident. Wait. I love to watch that alcohol ink wiggle and squirm and move around so much. Just some drops of alcohol ink. That's what I'm using. Put that off a minute. Do my orange in this one. These will be made like the others with some different colors. You know what I'm saying? So as they move, I think I should have done the orange outside and the red in because it gets darker as it goes in. But I did it this way this time, and I guess it's too late to change my mind. Okay. These little dudes are just sitting here. And you know, if you just put it around the edge, it's going to come in. But if you put it around and you put other things, it's going to help keep it pushed out some. All right, and these are already trying, as you can see. I don't know if you can or not, but they're making little blooms, and I haven't done anything to them. That's just where the drops was. It automatically makes a natural-looking little bloom. Here. All right, now then, I get this stuff back. That's my resin I put back. Can't hardly see it because it's got so much junk on it, but this is Casting Craft. You can get it at Amazon or at Hobby Lobby. You know, you want to shake it up really good, okay? And the reason a lot of this stuff wants to sink to the bottom is simply because of it's too heavy. The heavier it is, the more it's going to sink down. You know. And I don't like it when my stuff goes to get warm. I don't know if I done told you that earlier in the video, but I never take mine's temperature I never wait 30, 45, an hour, whatever, before I use it. I use it right after I mix it. I get busy with it. I'm out of my resin bag, so we're gonna use a snack bag. And try to pour it all over here in this corner if I can. I think that should about be enough. Yeah. Start passing them down. Leave a little bit there so when you squeeze up, some of the air can come out. Okay. Put it down here. We'll mash that point, get all that junk out of it. Okay. Use scissors, but I've messed up 3 or 4 pair of scissors doing this, and so just cutting that point off if I can. my blade's got dull. Time to get into it. Okay, this is sealed up, so it ain't going out nowhere. Squeeze, get all this back down here. Ooh, it's done and pouring out of there. So let's see. My hole's too big. I'm gonna come up, go around, non-stop. Go around and around and around and pick it up. Okay, start off over here and come around. This is better. That first in there, I didn't do it. It's about got me messed up a little, but I do. I want these a little thicker. They were coming out too thin. Now, and then this one over here, it's done and started to doing its thing up here on its own. Yep. That's too thin. So, raise you up a little. So, well, this has got the wigglies, the shakies. I guess it's this snack pack I think I'm using or something. I don't know. Put a little extra on here. It isn't got a lot, but like I said, you don't want a bunch at all. Anywhere you say that you think you've gotten too much and it's going to make a blobby, kind of try to spread it out some. Just do this and get it off that wall there and bring it around. And that one did too. It come off. Over on that one where I started it off of it to keep that big blob out of here. Right there. And this one is the one, I don't know if I can hit it. But there's always got to be something wrong when I do a video. Now I'm using a toothpick. I don't want you to go, but just barely enough that it's moving things. I don't want you to go deep. I don't want you to certainly don't touch your mold because that will make it all go to the bottom, but it will also ruin your molds. It's going to scratch them up and everything. So, first, I know y'all seen me do it. This one is kind of not showing up real well, is it? Is that any better? Okay. I'm going to start here. Come in, word, here. Well, I should have done it this way. And make it 4, okay? Keep that wiped off or you'll have muddy spots where you just kept adding paints and it's all coming off of this. I want to split them in half. And in half here. That needs to go in. Now I'm going to start in this green and I want to come up and start in the green. So I pull through the orange and back to the red. All the way around these. And there's another one I want to try. I did just plain old mold with it, just did one, and I used all mica powder in it. And it's pretty, but there's one little spot in there that caught my attention where it almost looked like I did, and I think I did out of habit, made some leaves in it. And it actually turned out pretty good with all that. It didn't have anything much in it like alcohol inks. It didn't have casting kraut. It's all some really pretty pastel mica powders. I'll show you that later on that video, but we're going to try it, I think, maybe next. And because I had planned on making some more to match the one I did, because it is pretty. And I probably still will. It's just kind of stirred around. All right, this is ready to pull out. Wipe. Pull this up. If you think you're going to have negative spaces, it'll be okay, because if you put your pretty background on, it ain't going to hurt. Plus, I didn't do the little swirly thing in that one yet either. I forgot to. I will just a second. And try so hard not to touch or go low, deep. Wipe it off. Start here. Sometimes I do a stop and start, but it'll be all right, I think. We do here. Now, I want to do this right here, and it's just a pretty little swirl. This one is going to be a pretty swirl. These have sat here a while, so we'll see if I can get them to do anything. I hope. I hope. I should do one at a time, I guess. And if, after watching this, you want to try it, try playing the video, watching it as you do it. Try to keep up with it a little. I know I do too fast, so if I'm past you, I go past you, pause it till you get that step done. And we can, and then post pictures of it when you get done, because I would love to see. I've seen a few that were done really good. Really good. That were really, really pretty. Of course, the people who did them thought they turned out as a dud, but I didn't. I saw the flower there. And they turned out wonderful. But I'm just doing this one like I did the others and going through here and pulling it out. I don't know where all the casting kraut has sunk off to in it. And all, but I'm going to come in this side. Across from it now, that way. It always helps keep you straight. Yeah. This one here is showing red fluffers in the here. It's gonna be pretty, I think. We'll have to wait and see till we unload it, unless there's a blob right here. I don't know. I hope there's not. Pull it down a little more. Now, this one comes in also. But just remember, put that towel, something in your hand, and always wipe. I already see a lot of the holes that cause so much texture in the others. If you'd zoomed in on them, you would see what I'm talking about. But they're in pictures, they're not here. But I'm hoping these turn out as well as those. You know, everybody has a bad time, bad days and all. Now, this one here is doing wonderful. Turn it on low, because it isn't doing its thing. I'm trying to get rid of some bubbles that might have fallen in. I hold it up high and do it easily. And I'm going to push it out a little, so I'm getting that in the under here too, where it will hopefully bloom out. Same thing around here. Bubbles be gone. It's fun, because it's addicting to run the little hot gun over and watch those little tiny micro bubbles, as they call, fall apart, disappear. You know, I got to do a little surgery on that one right there. I've got, there's resin here that I'm not crazy about, so I'm going to spread it out to make it look like more of a big old white part of petal behind it. Warm this one up the same way. Those there were, they're blooming now. I don't know. I hope you can see that, so really good, but oh! Well, I just messed this one up by keeping my gun on while I looked at another one and talking. But who knows? I'm going to put a little drop of color in it there. Busting bubbles. Never do that, okay? Never look off when you're using your hot heat gun, because this will happen. It's not the first time it happened to me that I blowed all my color away. But I am going to try to help it if I can, a little bit. Got it? Okay. Now, I'm going to put my, then I do my orange. Let's do some blue in that one. Make it a little different, okay? No, not that, but turquoise maybe. Here. It's just a little turquoise green. It's green. Yeah, I think I have enough right here to, yeah, just barely come up and around it about this right here without too much damage maybe. I'm going to smooth out that lumpy thingy. It might not can be fixed, but at least you learn a lesson. Don't do that. This one must not be exactly level or something, because it's not. They're coming in at a different angle. So what I'm doing, I'm going to turn it if I can. I hate trying to turn something on these mats. It just don't want to work. Now, yeah. Here it is on low. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to help. I hope they come out right. And if these don't, I'm going to tell you why. Another reason they're not as pretty, or that they sunk, because I left out one of my additives in my casting craft mix. And that is just 2 or 3 drops of white alcohol ink. Everything here, so that's okay. And I blew out a lot of this by accident, by not looking, by not paying attention. Yeah, now I do me a little curve in there. Maybe that'll hit it. I hope that fixed it. Yeah, but I shall be back when it's time to put our color on it. I'm going to show you that exactly what's mixed and how I mix it. And then when that's done, we'll have a grand opening party and see what messed up and what didn't. And if leaving out my, I don't think I did. I don't think I put no. I don't know. I have to watch the video again to see. See y'all. Okay, my loves. It's been about 2 hours. I've been busy trying to everything. All right. I had that on my little warmer over here. Cut that off. Anyway, so I got to take that out and do this for a minute here, so that I can measure how much of that with my part B side now. Yeah. These little cups being clear makes it a lot easier for me. When I was trying to weigh mine, they don't all need to be weighed. I hate to tell you that. And they don't all need their temperature took. I'm not saying some don't, but these here don't. Okay. Okay, here is the B going in. to my little cup over here. Need to move it where y'all can, in just a second, where you can see what it is I'm doing. Yep. And nothing extra is added to this resin right now. You know, you've got to mix it first. Don't look like me and start putting it in there before. I just left one mix out and left out the thick one, and put in the thinner and mixed. And I happen to see that sitting there, and I'm like, crap, I done mixed everything in there. But it worked out because I caught it in time. So this is, I didn't measure out a lot of my cups. I don't measure much. I measure to make certain, sorry, that I got something in here. It's like a gnat. We don't need that in there, do we? But anyway, I don't know what it was. Now this is going to be a lot easier to stir when that is not so, that one's not so dang plastic thick, you know? And so now, okay. I am right now working on my studio so I can get out of the kitchen. I'm hoping to have it done here in a couple of days. I'm having to take out a bed. It's a bedroom. We don't ever use that bedroom, so I'm taking that out and putting it out in my storage building. We got one where I could have a she shed to build my dollhouses in. And I've got get all that out and put out in the shed. I can get the mattresses out, the box spring out of there by sliding, but I can't pick them up and tote them out there by myself. So that'll happen when my husband gets home tonight. Maybe he won't be too bad about it. Bless his heart, I got a wonderful husband. You know, he allows me to do whatever I want to do, like things like this. So I don't know, but we're going to give this a good 5-minute stir. I've got bubbles, but bubbles can be taken care of. They can. With a little heat gun, a little time, or whatever you want to give it. Okay? I want to stop doing this until it's done. I know it's boring to watch somebody stir their stuff when you do that too. So I'll be right back. Okay, now I had Nicole, I won't say her last name, tell me her stuff wasn't getting hard. If it tells you to stir for 3 minutes, what you gonna do? You gonna stir for 5. Make sure it's mixed good. And that's why, excuse me, this winter I have a time. Let me, hang on. Let's see what my dog's barking at, and there wasn't a thing out there but him. And the trees and everything. Okay, got this mixed. Like I was saying, make sure you stir it extra. This time in the winter, I heat up that thicker. The real thick one, which is the A side. Just a little in my little heat up thing. Do it if you only have a coffee cup warmer, use that, or if nothing else, just sit it down in a bowl of really hot water for a few minutes before you ever mix your bean with it. And then when you get ready to mix that in, it'll go in so smooth and it'll be so easy to stir up. Summer, I don't have that much trouble. So now it's time to make us a back on this jewel. For my black, I'm using some Pearl-Ex mica powder. All right, and I didn't bring nothing to dip it out with. Like I said, I'm trying to get my little room back there set up, and I've got some stuff in there that I probably need in here. But, yeah, I'll just do that. It ain't gonna hurt much, because I got a lot of resin here to mix, and I want it black. I don't want it just a little pale black. I want it black. And I think I showed you my, its color is Galaxy. And it was in that chameleon that I used. The other ones, I think I used a gold. This one, I want to try this in here. I don't know what they did. I've got to get my stuff where I need it instead of where I'm moving to, I guess. Oh well, here's me something I can break it out with. It don't take a lot of this stuff. You all already know that. And I'm putting in what looks like a bunch because I've got a good bit of resin to color. And when I get done there, then I'll check, and if it needs more, I'll add more. But that chameleon is going to kind of settle down around on the little sink. Better more than that flat black color wheel. And I'm giving it a good stir, because when you think you got your mica powder stirred up, stir it again, because you ain't got it all stirred up. I found that out the hard way too. Let's see what that's going to be. Is that going to be dark enough? Yeah. So we're going to put a little bit more of that black. I got a good bit of the other in there, so I think I need a little bit more of this black stuff here. The black mica. Okay. Straight out my little screwdriver now. It's amazing what you can make do with keeping having to get up, isn't it? Oh well, it'll work. Now let's go back to and mix some more of that black in here. Scrape it off the edges just like you do when you're mixing up your resin. Make sure those edges are scraped every couple of turns when you're mixing your resin A and B together. I use a 1-to-1. And I've not used any that 3 or 1 or nothing, because when something's working for you, you want to change. Yeah, that's better. It's going to be more of a deep looking purple, but it's the Galaxy. So I wanted to try it and see what will happen. So I'm going to just pour some of this right here in the middle of each one and see how far out it's going to go. Come back and fill up some more on it, because I want it to like to dome it with this if I have enough of it. If not, it'll be okay. It'll be up pretty high right there. Some more over here. When you see it just sitting there, not going off nowhere, you know you're pretty dadgum level. If you're not, it's all going to be on one side and one side only. Not speaking because I think I know what I'm doing, speaking from my own experiences. You guys should see some of the messes I made when I first started trying to learn to do stuff with resin. Of course, I started it in September, so I am still quite new. That's why I can relate to everyone, maybe more than some others, because I'm still new also. And I would love to, and I like to teach people things. I've done EMT classes and all this kind of thing, and taught and worked with, and done checkoffs for fire departments on their skills level on the EMT and paramedic sections. But, I've not come across anything yet that compares to this. But I always enjoyed that, because I was teaching and helping teach and learning from my students just as much as they learned. I hope I did, I hope they learned a little more from me, but I did learn a lot from my students. And that's what I hope for here, that if y'all see something and you're curious, or you come up with a way of doing it from the way I do things around here, I'm just gently, got those wiggly little corner edges, so I'm pushing it around a little. Sometimes they'll stop when they get to those and won't go, even though they spread out good, it just don't always go into there. The reason you want to wait to put it back on these until they're a little bit firm but still sticky, the stickiness will help this adhere to that level better. But if you pour this directly on, it's going to be a little heavier than your other stuff, so it's going to sink to the bottom, and you're not going to be able to see all that pretty hard work you put into it. I got another one in mind that I want to try. Probably won't do it today, because I do need to get in there and do some work in that room. few other things. I also have 2 sewing machines. One is a embroidery machine, and one's this regular sewing machine. And I just, and it's in there, in that bedroom. So why not put all this in there with it? I gotta go, it'll probably be Wednesday when I have to go to the doctor at Florence. I will stop in and get me a table to go in there. Because the one that's out in my workshop, I wouldn't bring that in the house because it's been cut with my saws. I have got chunks outside. Not to mention sawdust and every crevice of it. And I sure don't want that in there. I want it to be a good clean room. That means I got to learn to dust. Just kidding. Yeah, they do need to be. You know, if you can see the little white ring forming, that's bubbles. Yeah, while we're doing this and messing with it, they're beginning to come up to the top. Don't freak out over your little ring of bubbles, because when you get done here with this, you're going to be doing blowing out those bubbles. And it's nice when they do figure out to come up and blow it on the top. I know. This is taking longer than I'd like, but it's just part of the game. You know, you can't rush it. I've tried rushing it. I'm a minute feller, always have been. I've jumped in with both feet. That's my motto in my life. And, you know, it says, like, don't take all day. Just if you don't try to figure it out, just jump in with both feet and do it. And when I worked for North Star Paramedics, that was what I did. That's how I did. That's how I handled things. And it came out the right way to do it. It was just that if I stood back and thought and overthought, it would never, ever be right. Or any of that. You know, it would always be all messy. But anyway, what I'm doing is spreading this out, trying to get it in all the little cracks, like I said before. I was going to tell y'all something else, but I don't know if I don't remember what it was. But anyway, I hope you're learning things, but just remember. Now, you can use just your plain black, the thick, regular ink, black ink, or whatever color ink you want on here, and do it. But I love mixing the black mica with another color, and you still have that dark behind your flower, but you can get some really pretty colors back here. I don't want to mix a bunch with it because I don't want it to get muddy. Now, if you're having trouble with mud, your colors coming out muddy, you saw when I was doing mine here, I pulled them up like I wanted them. I didn't mix my colors up a whole lot on here, and that way they were able to stay into their own separate color. Wasn't mixing with another color much. Sometimes the edges will go together, and that just makes it a little better and all that. But I'm just kind of curious as to what else I can do to make a really pretty back on my things here. I like to goof off and make, try things. But I think just using this right here should be enough. Talk about stopping while you're ahead. I think I just need to stop. And yesterday on those original ones I did, that was the first time I had tried it with mica powders and 2 different colors of all things. I'd always just used the black. Hello again. I'm back here in what will hopefully within the next few days be my studio, and I'll have a different table. This is on an old desk that I happen to have back here in this room. And I was just going to use it for drying purposes, but for right now, I'm using it for creating purposes. So I moved these back here so we can see what kind of mess we got going, that I got going. And I hope it didn't mess them too bad. I just got a feeling I did. Well, what do you think? See, I did my colors reverse, and it didn't work good. That's why I need to stick with the way it works good. But my colors on the outside there, this one slid with me, but it's still quite pretty. I guess I need to try to remember when I'm putting on my back to not cover. Do too much to cut. I need a brighter colors. Okay, this is really pretty here. All right, now make sure when these just come up and they're kind of tacky, you lay them on something, on plastic or whatever. Make sure there's no wrinkles in that plastic, because if you don't, you have wrinkles in it. That there had a globby in it. I don't like globby lobs. Besides, it slid. That had to be redone. Okay, I don't know what this is here. Oh, that one turned out wonderful. It's just, I'm not happy with my background messing with my white. I guess I just have to watch what kind of background. See, the red shows up, but this up here is white, and it's not really showing a lot. But that's the process of doing them. You know, I've got a lot of these I've got to do for local orders and things, but as soon as I can get my PayPal back up and going, I had it when I was selling my doll houses, and then I've been off of doing those for about a year now, and I've just, that now is just pretty though, it really is. But anyway, I've been off of those for a long time, so I hadn't used my PayPal in a long time, so now I need to. So I got to get it back on and set up again, and then I can start selling these. Of course, if they're made like these, got that little droopy thing in it, it slid. I make me a little basket to go to markets with, put those in there for like $3 or $4 each. People can pick them out. This in here's pretty, but that back is so, it's dark on here. I don't know if, let's try something. Does that change anything much? No, it don't. Okay. I'm just trying some different things. I've got nice lights coming in tomorrow. This is just one of the little cheap $10 rings. And, but we will continue doing these. Maybe the next ones will be better, because I won't try something different and put a wrong color on the outside, the back side. Because that black eat it up that time. So, make sure my plastic is smooth. And I'm going to be doing a friend of mine, for her daughter, some Geo. Here in a little while. Start them anyway tonight. And then finish them tomorrow. But I'm about ready to post this video just as soon as I can, here just in a minute. So I hope that you learn a little bit about the way it's done. I mean, the colors are there. They're pretty in here. But it just isn't showing up as well as my last ones because of the colors I used. But I'll teach you. Use the right colors. Don't, do as I say, don't do as I do. This is Cat P signing off, and I'll see you guys on the next round.